Hi, I'm Raquel Red, all the way from Nashville with 2Ds, here hosting the 4th annual Women's of Achievement Awards.
This is my first Luxe Media women's event ever, so I'm excited.
I attended last year. It was very, very insightful, very empowering, so I'm excited about this year as well.
I brought a couple guests because for me, women empower women, and to have other people meet my friends so that they can maybe do something with whatever they're doing is a great community. So we want this to be more of a place that everybody can come together and learn each other and help each other grow.
I hope to receive and connect with a lot of different women on many different levels because, like I said, there's nothing better in life than being able to empower other women and help other women rise to the top.
I hope everyone just has a lot of fun, really good time. It's always great energy, high vibes. It's my book launch, so everyone needs to get a book and just doing business, personally and professionally connecting, and just, always good vibes, good time is always what I'm looking for.
I live for goddesses and just being inspired by women, inspiring women, uplifting each other. So I'm just honored to be part of this event of highlighting different women and what they're doing, female entrepreneurs, and very excited to be here.
Hoping to level up my network, just meet other like-minded, awesome, amazing entrepreneurs and founders and women that are just doing amazing things in business and in life.
Yeah, I honestly don't have any expectations. I just know that Candice does really high level stuff, and I'm excited to just be open to kind of whatever opportunities open up and always lead with a giving hand.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming out this morning. How are we all doing this morning? All right. I wanted to say thank you all for being here for the 4th annual Women of Achievement Awards. We are so excited to have you here. We have some amazing honorees, some amazing guest speakers, and it's going to be a great, fantastic time. So first, without further ado, I'd like to introduce our host, Miss Raquel Red.
Good morning, beautiful people. It's my second year hosting this event, so thank you for having me back. I can't wait to talk to some of you, interview, and celebrate all of these beautiful, gorgeous women. Yes, I admire women so much, I wanted to be one. No, I don't want to be on your sports teams. I just like looking like this. I'm Raquel Red. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. You can watch my stuff at rknlife.com. I like to call it a satirical late night talk show where I interview guests and we talk about pretty much anything and everything. Again, it's rknlife.com. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring up, the ladies we're honoring today, I've been studying for weeks, so I feel like I know you all, even though we've never met. So I'm kind of excited, and I'm trying to keep the professionalism because I've got some questions for you guys and I'm really excited to ask and get to know more. Without further ado, I'd like to start with the first woman I'd like to welcome has spent the last 2 decades dominating the media space as a female in a heavily male-dominated industry and is one of only 17 elite master networkers in the world. She opened the first ever custom media station to ever be approved on world-famous Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills, and the first media station in the United States solely owned by a female. No approvals from the board for her. Please welcome CEO and founder of Luxe Enterprises, Candice Bar. You look fantastic. Good morning. Morning. Well, another year flies by and it's time to honor some more women. How are you? How's it going? Very good, thank you. So first, this is not only an event to honor some amazing women, but you have a very big book that is launched today.
Yes, the book launched today.
Tell us about it.
Oh my goodness.
Why'd you want to write a book?
Well, first of all, if you ever wrote a book or want to write a book, it's quite the undertaking. I don't have children, however, that did take 9 months. So this is my baby. Actually, I never sought out to write a book because I feel like every entrepreneur has a book. That's kind of like the next business card is having a book. I didn't want to write another business book. I don't think we need more of those. I'm not sure, but not for me. However, the book title and the chapter titles came to me literally in a dream. Like so much so that I woke up the next morning I'm like, give me paper and pen right now.
Yeah.
So it had to be written. And it's very much a part of me. It's like, I have the business side clearly, but I also have the very spiritual side. And to bring those together and how to manifest, how to vision, how to make your thoughts into things, how to do this. So that's what this is about.
Something you said recently in a conversation about changing the record, the record, or
Changing the record.
you were like changing the record. You said it in a text, and then when we got on the phone, you mentioned it again. I want to talk about that because that really stuck with me.
So I was talking about, because I was having conversations with people, and it's like changing the record of what you say about yourself. It's like, are you talking about the same conversations you were talking about 5 years ago? Whatever issues or problems or stuff that you're going through, and you're still talking about it, you need to get over it. You need to move on. The faster you can get over things is the faster you can get to the new fun things. So you can't be talking about the same things. Like, we all go through stuff. We all go through major things, especially if you're an entrepreneur. You're constantly going through things. I would say, you're constantly getting kicked in the balls every day.
Careful.
Careful. Every day, but you learn to get over things faster. None of it is really personal. And the faster you get through things, like I say, the faster you can get to the good things and the good parts of being an entrepreneur, because that's the fun parts, and that's why we're doing this. Entrepreneurship is very creative. You have to have a very creative mind, visionary, and be able to do so many different things. So that's why that's an important part of being an entrepreneur, because holding on to stuff is never going to move you forward.
Why do you think it's so hard to let go of things?
That's a decision.
Okay.
So if you decide to hold on, then you're deciding not to move forward. Because it's comfortable for some people.
Yeah.
Sometimes. But it's uncomfortable for the people around you who have to keep hearing this stuff over and over
Well,
again.
it's that whole thoughts you think over and over become beliefs.
Yes.
If you keep telling yourself the same story, you're going to just believe that this is your life and this is
this is difficult, this is difficult, this is difficult, this is
gonna be.
then it's difficult.
I like to say, whatever you tell the universe, it agrees.
1,000,000%.
You are correct.
So change it to, I'm powerful, I'm amazing,
Yes.
I can do this, I'm creative, I can get through
Everything is working
this.
out for me.
Yes, you can do it.
What do you want readers to take away from your book?
Different chapters, there's a lot of different takeaways. But really, what I really want people to take away from this is, I call it the 2020 experience, experiment. And I think throughout that time, a lot of people lost their personal power, or it felt like, and they don't feel like
during the pandemic?
the experience.
Okay. Oh, the experience. Okay, got it.
So I want people to remember or feel like you have so much power. You have so much power. I have a lot of power. And if you need some, I can give you some. But you have so much power, and that's what I want you to take away from the book, is that you do have the power. You can do anything, and you can do a lot of things. Your capacity is quite large. And that's what I want you to take away from that.
I want to ask, what do you believe makes a person truly successful, and what do you believe has been the key to your own success?
There's many components to that, but the first thing that comes to mind is I'm incredibly grateful, very thankful, very blessed.
Just get to preaching.
That did not, I think that's a daily routine to get there. That's a mindset. I'm always grateful for everything, small things, big things, and I acknowledge everything. So I think that's what made us get to where we are today.
So is that included in your daily mantra, daily practice?
1,000,000%.
Start with gratitude, you go from there?
Yes. I'm grateful, I'm grateful, I'm thankful, I'm blessed, I'm highly favored, I am honored, I'm abundant, I'm prosperous, I'm all of it.
This is the 4th annual Women's of Achievement Award, 4 years. How does that feel?
It's crazy, I can't believe we're here.
What made you do the first one?
The first one started because I noticed, and you probably haven't noticed as well because we're still not there yet, female entrepreneurship still doesn't get the attention it really deserves. You can name 10 male entrepreneurs because they got a lot of marketing, they got a lot of attention, their podcasts are huge, their shows are huge. You can name 10 of those. You cannot name 10 female entrepreneurs at the same level without their husbands getting them there independently. I can't name those. So it was time the ladies got the attention, got the recognition, got the exposure. Today's the day for you guys. It's saying, we see you, we appreciate you, all your hard work, what you do. Today's for you.
You also talk about the importance of having a mentor. Let's talk about that.
That's incredibly important. Having mentors, having someone to guide you and give you advice and information to where you want to go. I think throughout business and throughout life, you're absolutely going to have different mentors because hopefully you're leveling up a lot and consistently. And as you level up, you're going to have different mentors. You're going to always be around people that you would trade your life with, or they have information or importance or, even a vibe that you connect with, that you align with at that moment in your life. It's so important to have that guidance because entrepreneurship can be or feel like a very lonely road, and it doesn't have to be. There's a lot of people that are willing to help you, that are willing to guide you. It doesn't matter what level you're at, there's always someone to be there for you, and it does not have to be lonely.
You've been a great mentor for me, by the way.
Thank you.
You have been a great friend and a great mentor, and I'm sure anyone who knows her will agree.
Thank you.
Lastly, what do you want to leave us with, and what does the future hold not only for Candice, but for Luxe Enterprises?
Today's the day to have fun. Today's the day to network. Today's the day to do business. There's a lot of successful people in this room. I always like to keep the room, I say strong and mighty, small and mighty for a reason. I love intimate networking. So I want people to have fun, have a good time, and do some business together and see where the connection brings you. Also, I'm going to have a book signing in the back, so buy the book.
Buy the book. Are you writing any more books?
Yes, this book was written to be a series. We're already working on book 2 right now. So think about Chicken Soup for the Soul, but this is more toward, spiritual entrepreneurship.
I love it. Well, thank you, Candice. We've got a great day.
I'm excited.
Yes. Give it up for Candice Bar, ladies and gentlemen. Our next woman of achievement. From television to film, if you haven't seen our next woman of achievement, you've certainly seen her award-winning work. Whether she was directing the cheers for the Los Angeles Clippers or Sparks or showing MTV how to hold its forms, she's traveled the world choreographing world tours for headliners like Bob Hope to Leanne Rimes. Maybe you saw her win the All-American Woman contest on ABC or weighing in on Showbiz Tonight. Her passions doesn't stop there, as she's also a serial entrepreneur and the CEO and founder of Hedo Professional Grade Skincare. Please welcome the host of Ageless Ambitions on Luxe Media, Christine Bar. Hi, Christine. Work the runway. Yes. Oh, the dance is showing some moves. Yes. Gorgeous. Welcome. Christine Bar.
Well, I grew up in St. Louis, and my mom had a dance studio, and that's when women really didn't own anything back in the day. So it was very, very hard for my mom.
So she's St. Louis.
And yes. So it was a great experience. I wanted to be my mom and dance just like her. And just like you mentioned, there was a contest. I used to teach disco. I used to teach the hustle before the clubs opened, because I was only 19 and you had to be 21 or 18. And so I went in the disco. That just shows you the age, right? So I used to teach the hustle, and then I stayed. So I discoed all night with a dance partner. And at that particular place called, I believe it was called Jimmy's Club or something, but there was going to be a contest in St. Louis to find the All-American girl. And so I'm like,
and
wow.
who is she though?
It's me. It's me. And no, so what happened was they had 9 sports involved. So I had already done gymnastics, but there was skiing, there was roller skating, there was ice skating, all kinds of sports. So it's the all-American round person, not just, 9 feet tall and just can wear a bathing suit. So they had this contest at this particular disco club. So that's how I found out about it. And so I entered, and then I did my gymnastics and had a conversation at a certain hotel. And then I was one of 45 girls to Las Vegas. So in Las Vegas, it was held at the Caesars Palace, and Peter Marshall from Hollywood Squares, and I believe it was Kathy Lee Crosby were the hosts. And I thought, hey, I'm gonna win the disco for sure. So I was excited because we got to win a car. And I was like ready to go home and have a car, but it just so happened I won the whole thing. And so I had 2 TV contracts and I think $50,000 at the time in 1979, which is a lot of money back then. And that's how I came to LA.
What was motivating you to keep going forward from, small town, like St. Louis, not necessarily a small town, like middle America, now you're in LA and things are just falling in your lap, like, you just keep walking.
It wasn't falling in my lap.
What would you say, the disco leading to one?
Right, well, the thing is, I always knew I was not going to stay in St. Louis. I just knew my life was not going to be in St. Louis. And they used to tease me all the time. They'd see these like little side road things on our way to, we had this place where we went camping. I'm like, I don't want to go camping. I want to be in a hotel.
Amen.
I don't want to be camping. But I always knew they would, this would not be where I was going to be. But they would tease me like, that's your house. And it'd be like a little barn or something. I'm like, no, I'm going to live very nicely one day, and it's not going to be here. So that's how I got to LA. I won the All-American Woman because on TV, when you're 18, you can't say girl, so they had to change that. So I tried out for the All-American Girl, but it was the All-American Woman. So I got to go to Australia on an all-girl flight. I got 2 TV contracts. I did Circus of the Stars, and I was a presenter on the People's Choice Awards. That's who produced those shows and produced mine, so that's why I got to be on them. And from there, I moved to California, and it was really tough. It was really hard.
Was it tough because you're a woman?
No, it was just something that I didn't know anybody, but I came out here, but I was around celebrities when I did Circus of the Stars. Brooke Shields was my friend. I had all these people that surrounded me, but still, it's very lonely. But I made my way and I worked hard. I got an agent. I went to dance class.
How did you manage your loneliness and still keep the motivation and the focus of
I just think
driving
family,
forward?
the strong family support. My mom would send me $50 every once in a while.
Western Union?
Western Union. Yeah. So, but it was really hard. It was a very hard time out here, but I made my way. I went up for soap roles. And I got a few parts, but because of my resume in dance, I ended up choreographing on daytime for almost 30 years. Days of Our Lives, Passions.
When I read that, what does that mean? That's like there's scenes where they're dancing?
Yeah.
Like there's a wedding scene.
I think I did Bo and Hope's wedding dance like 4 times.
Okay.
I think they got married 4 times. So,
Oh, yes, I saw that.
yeah. So they had ballroom scenes. They had just scenes of romance. And I went into a training, and then I did Isabella's death scene. So when she died, she did the dance to Bette Midler, and that was my favorite dance. So I choreographed for daytime, and then I auditioned for the Los Angeles Rams, and we did 8 USO tours around the world when I made that, and that was the most precious experience that I ever had, is to perform for our troops and see them support our country and stuff like that. So that was very, very exciting and memorable. And then I owned a dance studio for 28 years.
I was gonna ask you, when did you start your first business?
I started in like 1990.
That was the dance studio?
Yeah, I owned a dance studio. I used to have over 400 students, and it grew from 1 to 400. And I knew how to sell myself. It was very easy to teach kids, and my mom had the studio, so I knew how to do that. But then at 60, I wanted to just try something new in my life. I had a talk show, and I talked to a very dear friend of mine who had 3 med spas at 30 years old, and I'm like, I want to learn more about that. And that's how I pivoted at 60 years old to start my skincare line. It was a struggle. At 60, I wanted to feel life again. I taught kids. I was Miss Christie for a very long time, but I wanted to just try something that was going to be good for me. So it was a struggle of understanding that selling a product is different than selling yourself. And I knew how to sell me as a dancer and teach kids and discipline them and make them be a better person through dance, as well as learn how to dance. So it was a difficult process, and then I had to depend on other people, like in marketing and the struggles of finding a label, the right label on the brand. And it just, people know how to just want to suck you up, take your money and not really do anything for you. So I found out that I had to just do it myself, and I found a way. And my 3 of my products went viral because I reached out to certain people in the social media world, and they tried my products, and that's how I became very successful of what my brand is doing right now. Because instead of, depending on marketing people, because they didn't know me. They just wanted my money, bluntly, and they said, oh, it'll come. I'm like, it ain't coming. So I decided to just do it myself, and the success of Ketos just really, it's been such a great experience, because I knew how successful I was at 28 years of running a dance studio, and I did that all by myself. So this is something that I do by myself too, and everything that I do, I'm hands-on. I write a personal note to everybody that orders from me.
The power of a personal handwritten note, yes.
I can't tell you how many people write that on social media. I just saw it on TikTok. Look at this note, it's a personal note. I feel so comfortable.
Yeah, wrote me a note.
Yeah, I do that. It's not easy to do that, but I do it,
What do you believe makes a person successful, and what do you believe has been the key to your own success?
Okay, so I think that just self-love is the first thing that you need to have to be successful, right? You have to believe in yourself and love yourself. And sometimes that's not easy at all. And you look at yourself in the mirror and you see things that you don't like. And you have to understand that you're not remembering all the great things. You only see these couple negative things. And that can change your mind, because most of us think to the negative before we ever think positive. And so the love that you have for yourself, the love that you have to understand that whatever you believe in, it comes from within, and that's what makes you successful. You have to believe in yourself.
Sure.
Especially when there's a million skincare lines out there. It's like, whoa. So you just have to know that whatever you're doing, it's because of the love that you have for yourself.
So we are awarding Miss Christie, yes, with our Confidence Award. Because you help give women a lot of confidence, and we appreciate you, and we see you and all the work that you do. So thank you.
If anyone knows the power of great marketing, it's our next woman of achievement. She, alongside her husband, have coupled their expertise to create agencies responsible for millions of dollars in client conversion. She's been featured on Yahoo Finance, NBC, Fox News, CBS, and more. Please welcome an expert in lead generation, Cindy Pita. Hello.
Hi, everyone.
My first question out the gate. What is lead generation and why is it so important?
Yes, okay, so lead generation is simply the process of getting people that are interested in your products or services.
Okay.
So we've done a lot of work with service-based companies across the globe, and you can have an amazing product or service, but if you do not have prospects that are interested in what you offer, you don't have a business. So that process of lead generation, and even more than that, we call it client acquisition, because it's one thing to get people that are interested in what you offer, and it's another thing to convert them into paying clients. So we focus on client acquisition and not just lead generation.
What is the ideal client?
Ideal client is an online business that sells services to other businesses. So this could be like an online coach, potentially we do coaching, consulting, other marketing agencies hire us to develop their sales processes and help them really scale and get more clients. So anywhere from a solo coach just getting started, wanting to build their brand, to companies doing millions in revenue that want to scale and truly tap into like a different market.
All right, a little bit about you. When did you start your first business?
So I started modeling when I was 14. It was not a business, but I think I always had that entrepreneurial spirit to want to go out and do my own thing, make my own money. My first business I started out of college, it was a career coaching business. So I was teaching other college grads how to get a job out of college, because that's something that I did. And I loved coaching. I loved empowering others and helping. And so my first business was a career coaching company.
You are the CEO of Outbound Marketing Agency and co-founder and COO of Pima. Tell us about that.
Yes, so Pima is, we essentially do what I mentioned, outbound marketing. So we help online businesses that do services, we help them get clients, and we help them with their entire sales process. So really our area of expertise is with coaches, consultants, and other marketing agencies. They hire us to do all their outbound strategy and help them get clients.
And you and your husband have a podcast. You have a whole brand of you and him doing all of this. Tell us about that.
Yes, we just launched. It's called The Takeover with Tim and Cindy. That's my husband.
Hi, Tim.
And essentially we talk about how to win in life and in business. It's been a journey for us being not only entrepreneurs, and you know that the struggles and the challenges that come with entrepreneurship. But
do you have a mentor? And if so, who are they? And how did you select them?
Great question. Similar to Candice, I believe in paying for mentorship. I've had mentors in my life that for a season were really great, and then you outgrow your mentors, and I think that's okay to do. I found that when I pay for mentorship, when I pay to get in the room, not only do I pay a lot more attention, but the value that you get out of investing in yourself and investing in mentorship, I think far outweighs any other relationship that you can have, because I think everybody tells you you need a mentor, but they don't tell you how. And the easiest path for me in getting mentorship has been paying to get in the room, paying for people that have the expertise that I want, and even just that proximity is really powerful.
I like that. Why is LinkedIn so important? Is it still important?
Absolutely. So I think it's knowing what your goal is at the end of the day. If you know what your goal is, then you know what channel you should be using to reach that goal. So for some people, building a brand looks like Instagram and Facebook because that's where their ideal client is. So the first question to ask yourself is, where is my ideal client? Right? If your ideal clients, for most of our clients, they're on LinkedIn, professionals, it's a professional networking platform. So LinkedIn is great for that purpose, career opportunities, networking opportunities. If you are a business owner, you absolutely need to be on LinkedIn, period. Because one, the ability to build your brand on the largest professional networking platform, there is more money exchanged on LinkedIn than any other platform in the world. So it really is, there's a lot of opportunity on there. And I think also LinkedIn is very untapped. Instagram, Facebook, etc. It can be a lot harder to build your brand and your following. But on LinkedIn, if you're super consistent and you provide value, you can reach out to your ideal client today, get on a meeting and sell them within a few hours.
What's the biggest mistake you see being made on LinkedIn today?
I would say one, if you are doing outreach, which is the type of marketing that we do, we're reaching out to people in their inbox to pitch like a product or service. I think the biggest mistake that is made is people just don't know how to pitch themselves. They don't know how to pitch to get on a call with somebody, and so people will seem spammy, or you'll get a lot of like messages in your inbox that are just not good. But the type of outreach that we do is with the intention of getting people on a call. So you have to know how to write messages that convert into paying clients.
And what does it mean to you to be a successful woman in businesses and industries dominated by men?
I love that question. I see it as it's a calling. I think if you are willing to endure the challenges and the struggle that comes with entrepreneurship, and if you're an entrepreneur, you know that there's the ups and the downs and the challenges and the struggles. If you're willing to endure through that, the opportunity and the success on the other side is so worth it. And for me, it's not just being a woman in business, it's being a female, a Black woman in business where you don't see us as much, right? And I think the recognition that comes with that and the opportunity to impact other women that look like me to show them that it's possible is huge. What makes a person successful? I think it's discipline. It's the ability, as I mentioned, to endure through challenges, so it's persistence. I think on the journey toward your goal, regardless of what the goal is, you are going to face challenges and struggle. And success is truly the ability to endure through those challenges and struggles to get to the goal. So I think it's discipline, it's persistence, it's wanting it bad enough. Right? How many of us have that goal and you run into some struggle and you retreat? So if you can push forward and face off difficulties and trials and challenges, then you're going to see success. And I'd say what attributes my success, one is that persistence. I will out-endure anybody because I know what the goal is and I know if I can just persist just a little bit more than the next person, I'm going to win. And then second, it's my relationship with God, my faith, big part of it.
Well, I'd like to ask, what does the future hold? What's next?
We're building, my husband and I, Tim, are building this company to as big as we can build it. That's the goal. And I think sky's the limit with the type of offer that we have, with the services that we offer, every industry needs what we do, and so we're taking it to the moon.
I love that.
So Miss Cindy is getting an award as well, and she is getting the Enterprising Award because you're doing amazing things so early on in business, and you're taking over the marketplace. So we're very excited and happy to award you with the Enterprising Award.
Our next woman of achievement undoubtedly brings the good energy. A yoga guru, sound and energy healer, she's dedicated her headline-grabbing platforms to elevating the energy of others and educating people on the incredible all-natural benefits of plant-based medicine. Family, please welcome the host of Holy Chit on Luxe Media, Christy Austin. Come on, Christy, work the runway, baby. Yes, work it. Yes, yes. I want to open with a quote of yours that I love. Consider becoming the type of energy that no matter where you go, you add value to the faces and places around you. When did you decide to start doing that for yourselves and then want to teach others to do it?
I started that journey, probably the most traumatic experience of my life. When I was going through the most traumatic experience of my life, I realized that really that's all we can be. We can't control others. We can't control situations. The only thing we can control is ourselves. So if we can bring a little light into others' lives and sprinkle a little fairy dust everywhere we go, then that's a success.
I love that. Have you always had that, even as a child, that just always been innately in you?
Well, I'm into numerology, so now that I've gotten into numerology, I'd say yes. I always put a smile on my face.
Your Instagram mentions being biocharged, plant medicine, and ketamine therapy. Tell us more about that.
Oh, okay, so we're hitting all kinds of areas. When I started my healing journey, I realized there's so many different healing modalities, and I can't get enough. So it's learn. If I'm not learning and growing, then I might as well not even be here, right? So it's what more can I learn? What more can I do? How can I help others learn these healing modalities for whatever they're going through? Because we all have our own personal journey, and what works for me may not work for you. But I can tell you all these different things, something will resonate with you. Something will help you on your path. So I'd say my healing journey started probably about 10 years ago. My idea of success in my 20s was become a mom, be a wife. And when divorce wasn't in my head at all that would happen. So when your life crumbles and you find yourself homeless and carless and with a family and you don't know where to go or what to do, it hits you, you realize that something needs to change. You know, now I have gratitude for that time in my life. Gratitude has been my thing.
Gratitude shows up again. Oh, yes.
Well, gratitude has been my thing because now I can look at that and be so grateful. I got to experience that. I got to experience living in the illusion of a blissful marriage, amazing, husband and family, and I got to live that. I also got to experience a divorce. I got to experience miscarriages. I got to experience all these things that would be perceived as negative. I got to experience on this journey of life. So I've turned things that would normally be perceived as negative, and I've turned them positive. And I've made it work for me of learning different modalities that have healed my soul: yoga and meditation, plant medicine, biocharge. Everything has a frequency. So when you realize you have certain energy and sometimes you just need to move it around. If you don't like the energy that you're holding, move it around. Whether that's breathing, whether that's yoga, whether that's just shaking.
When did you start your first business? What was it?
Oh, my first business was a little girl's clothing brand called Prettyful.
I love that.
And that's because I had twin daughters that couldn't say beautiful. They combined pretty and beautiful. They say Prettyful. And I used to sit at home, mom wanting to be at home with her kids, so I wasn't a dance instructor. And then I started making little tutus and hair bows and all this cool stuff. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to start a business. That was my first business. And then when I went through my divorce, I would find myself taking hikes at the top of the mountain. My friend would tell me, okay, what do you like to do, Christy? And I'm like, well, with my husband. No, not with your husband. Well, with my kids. No, not with your kids. Me? You want me to tell you what I like to do? Who I realized that I had lost myself. There was no me without my family. So then I had to find what Christy liked. Yeah, so everyone kind of expected to kind of throw me into like a lot of like, Christy, just model, just do this like your sister, or like this like your. So those of you who don't know, my sister is Coco, Ice-T's wife. My parents actually, before that, I was always in the industry because my parents met on the set of Bonanza, and my dad was one of the cowboys one of the kid cowboys on the movie The Cowboys with John Wayne. And so I kind of grew up in that industry. My sister and I modeled a little. We did, theater. We did run some commercials, but that wasn't my calling. I knew it wasn't my calling.
Tell us about your show, Holy Chit, and how'd you come up with that?
Candice asked me if I wanted to do this, and then like a week later, someone else asked me to be on their podcast, and I was like, okay, the universe is trying to tell me something. And what I realized is that I have so much knowledge about these different healing modalities that a lot of people don't know. They're struggling in silence, they're in pain, and they don't know how they can help themselves. And maybe I can plant that seed if I can just help one person and plant that seed, that it's worth my while. So how I came up with the name Holy Chit, Candice is like, here, you have to come up with a name. And I was like, oh, you mean this is my own thing? I can do what I want? She was like, yeah, just come up with a name, and maybe, calm the fuck down with Christy Austin. I was like, that's not really me because I don't curse like that. So I'll come up with something. I like wordplay, and I feel like teaching people how to heal themselves and realize that they are whole just the way that they are. They just need to learn the modality to heal themselves within, but they are whole. We don't need to seek outward. We don't need to seek someone or something to find what we have already within us. So that's where whole came from. And then chit is a Sanskrit word for pure consciousness. So that's my purpose for the podcast, is to raise the collective consciousness.
And I want to ask, what do you believe makes a person truly successful? And what do you believe has been the key to your own success?
Well, that depends on your definition of success. We all have a different idea of success. Like I said, when I was in my 20s, being married and being a mom I was successful. I walked around feeling confident and so full of success. Now it's making sure that my family is safe and healthy and that they're provided for. Whatever I have to do that day to put smiles on their face, make sure they have food in their mouth, and they don't have any needs, that's a success for me.
So what you do is very much needed. What everyone here does is very much needed. But, sometimes we're on the side of the brain, we're kicking ass, we're going forward, we're taking names, we're going hard. We need you too. It's the other side of the brain. It's the calm, and it's the zen, and it's the, just getting clarity. Very, very much needed. So we are presenting you with the Vibrational Harmony Award because everything is needed, and your work is amazing. And we just want to thank you for you and all you do.
Yes. Our next woman of achievement is well known for bringing her luxurious bohemian style to reality television while inspiring women around the world with her tenacity and positive spirit. Please welcome CEO and founder of Asa Cafes, Asa Rahmati. Okay, Asa, it's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Excited. Okay, I wanted to start with, you grew up in Europe after your family left Iran as political refugees and then moved to LA when you were a teenager.
Yes.
How has it been navigating American culture as a successful woman?
That's so much. Well, first of all, I felt it was amazing. By the time I was 15, I had lived on 3 continents. I spoke 4 languages. I had lived amongst all those people. And I think that's when I learned my lesson of there's no normal.
There's no one way to be, and to just find yourself. Who are you, and representing that, and just being authentic. And since then, that's been really my motto.
You told Forbes magazine that women are so nurturing, but we need to keep our spirits alive. Tell me more about that. What keeps your spirit alive?
Forgot I said that. Yes.
I Googled.
Right. I think as women, or I call us goddesses, and it's so wonderful to be here with all these beautiful goddesses and kings. I think that we are naturally so giving to the point where we could lose ourselves. Our superpower is being unconditionally loving and nurturing, but that's also our weakness, I think. So I think finding a balance, and I'm still working on that since, we have a 6-year-old, and once you become a mother, that thing tips even more. And just finding balance of staying you, who you are, while nurturing those around you.
I love that. So you have a store in Venice that's been open for about a decade. Tell us about it.
Yeah, we have a boutique. My brand is, I hate the word brand, but it's called Asa Kaftans.
It's your brand.
It's my brand. The way it started is I've always dressed this way. I used to just make my own clothes and, I don't know how many people watch Shaw's. Anybody know me from Shaw's? Yes. So, this is how I dressed always. And people would always be like, what is that? What are you wearing? What is it? I'm like, I should make these. Because I make them for me. I design them just for myself. So the way it started is I made 20 of them one time, like the same one I was wearing, and my beloved and I were in Hawaii, and I came out of the water, I threw it on, he took a picture, he's an amazing photographer. And I threw it on my Instagram, they sold out. And I made 100, so that's how it started. And then we were online first in our living room, and a lot of people saw it on Shaw's, so I started my business. So now when they come into the boutique, they're so proud of me, and you remembered when the fridge was your closet and all that.
I love that.
Yeah.
You also do gold jewelry, as we see, which is stunning. Stunning.
Thank you. I design everything I'm wearing. I designed except my shoes. But yeah, all this.
I'm here till Saturday. I'll be coming to you.
Come to dress up. That's what we do.
I need to go shop. You mentioned you were on reality television.
Yes.
Would you ever go back to do reality television?
That's a good question. Probably not that type of.
You were 6 seasons of Shaw's, right?
Yeah, so I did that, but 6 seasons equates to like about 8 years. That's almost a decade.
How did you get involved in reality television?
So I was, I was doing art and music, and they found me, and I was like the one out of the box, the artistic Persian girl. And in our culture, not that many people are like, it's like a, conformist old school culture. And they wanted me to be the one that's different, right? And I wanted to represent for us, people who like to be themselves. So I thought it was important, and I tried to do a lot of like artistic stuff on there and expose people to different things, but it ended up being toxic at the end. The beginning was magical, and I reached a lot of people. For example, I ended up going to the Iranian border with Turkey. My family came from Iran, and so people saw this on a reality television show. And a lot of people reached out to me, and they were like, I used to, not like your kind, but I see you're just like us, you love your family. So
you're kind.
Right, but I learned, building bridges, finding love in each other. And that was cool being on TV and just reaching millions of people that are different backgrounds and seeing how we're all just the same.
I want to talk more about the individual, like where does the individuality you get driven from? Where does that come from, and what fuels you the most?
I think that's really, really important for all of us, no matter how old you are, how young you are, or whatever it is that you do. I think we have to find who we are, and that's not a simple thing, because we live in a society that it's mostly cookie cutter, and we're supposed to all be this way, look this way, do this, or strive to be like this celebrity. Everybody's looking like this person or whatever. So I think having the confidence, be like, who am I? What am I really into? And once you find that, that's your magic, that's your superpower, then find something to do with that. Whether it's a business or promoting yourself or any work that you do bringing that essence to it, I think that's success in life.
What's a struggle as an entrepreneur you've had to overcome? How did you do that?
I still struggle every single day. Like even today, our son didn't feel that good. I had to suddenly, he wasn't going to school, we had to be here. Just like weird, And also post-COVID, the business has really changed.
Now your business survived.
We survived, and knock on wood. It's different now though. But even during COVID, it was so crazy we had to close, like many of us. And I had to come up with something. I was like, gosh, I'm a survivor. There's no way I'm gonna go down. So we came up with these things called Goddess Life Parties. And we just, on my Insta, I have about 500,000 followers. So I was like, I gotta connect with my community. So we started these dress up parties at the boutique because we had to be close. They're called Goddess Life Parties, where we just dress up like this, me and my girls. And people tune in from South Africa, Brazil, Dubai, everywhere, Senegal, and we just play dress up and they can order online. And at the end we smudge together, and so we had to get creative just to still make it. So it's not easy at all, but you have to just continuously become even more creative, figure out what's next, what can you do in these times. And I'm still doing that all the time.
And what motivates you to stay on that, even though it's a struggle, the success is becoming?
It's not always easy, and you have really down times. I find that being a mother and having my own business, I'm always spread so thin, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I can't do this. My family motivates me, having an amazing family, the community, our Goddess Gang community, because we really support each other. And just knowing that I'm here on my own with this. I gotta keep going to be a good example to all these other girls. You can't give up ever, no matter what's going on, you have to keep going. And it's not always easy.
Do you have a mentor?
I'm very fortunate to have people in my life that are the absolute best at what they do. I wouldn't say it's like oh, you're my mentor type thing, but just a lot of inspiration and straight advice and watching people.
That energy rubs out.
You learn. And for me, this is what I struggle with. I struggle with time management of being a mother and running my own business. I just have a hard time with it. Mainly because I wanted to raise my own son. My mom helps, but I don't have like a nanny per se every day. I wanted to do that. We have one, and I had him later. So I watched the other women around me to see how they do it, the ones that are doing a really good job at it. And that's the one thing I have to really learn much more about.
What do you think makes a person successful? And what do you believe has been the key to your own success?
I think what makes you successful is, again, being authentic. And to me, that's the biggest thing. That's not a small thing. Being authentic is so many different steps. It's not one word, it's continuous. And it's almost so crazy that like on Shaw's, people always told me, no, I like you because you're so yourself. That it's so radical now to be yourself is crazy to me. But I think to be successful, you have to have passion, you have to have purpose, and you can never, ever give up, ever.
All right, well, I thank you so much. It was a pleasure meeting you. We do have a word for you. Candice, would you like to come forward? Candice Bar, ladies and gentlemen.
So this is actually very fitting. So we, of course, are awarding you as well. Yes, and we decided to give you the Creative Visionary Award. But I like to say Creative Vision Aries because us three are all Aries. So Aries too. I just want to thank you for you and all you do, all the power that you give off, everything that you created, and keep going because we are watching and we're inspired.
Candice, thank you for having me. Thank you for doing this. It's really wonderful. I'm honored. Yeah.
From building a successful modeling career and advocating for ethnic women to managing her family of 3 kids and all-star husband, our next woman of achievement brings her passion for authentic beauty to her fashion, jewelry, and furniture design. Would you please welcome House of Sacred Flame CEO and designer Rebecca Justice. Yes, Rebecca, gorgeous. When I was reading about you, I got a strong sense of family.
Strong.
Yes, very strong. Yes. Where does that come from?
Yes. It really comes from my parents. My mom's here. It comes from my parents. You know, my mom was an immigrant. My dad had 15 brothers and sisters, and they had nothing. He picked oranges for a living to the point where he put himself through college, and he's the only one that put himself through college. But I just was brought up with a really big sense of family. I'm Mexican, and you know, we have a lot of people in our family. So, but that's really where it came from. Was my parents.
What is it like transitioning from busy mom, CEO of household, to empty nester? Now the focus is on your businesses.
Oh my God. Well, you know, it took me a minute. I started my business the House of Sacred Flame, I started that in 2014. But my main goal in life and my main priority was my family. My lifestyle was a little bit more, I don't want to say difficult, but a little bit more chaotic because my husband's high profile, so we live that high profile life, as well as we're very, very involved with our kids. Like, it really seems like to be a very similar comment that a lot of these women up here have made. It's like we've given ourselves to our family for all these years. And it was definitely a hard balance because I always tell my girlfriends, like my girlfriends who are here, like, you got to put your foot in the door. Just while you have your kids, just do something. Because one day you're going to blink and they're gone.
Your House of Sacred Flame jewelry line, what inspired you to create it?
So House of Sacred Flame is named after the flames that took our family home in the 2007 Witch Creek fire.
That's my next question. I was thinking.
Oh my
I'm kidding. I was gonna say, you lost your home in 2007, and I read that in the rebuild is where you decided to design your own furniture. And if you haven't seen it, please do yourself the Google favor and check out her furniture. It is exquisite.
Thank you. Yes, so that was derived from the flames that took our family home. I was always that athlete wife that would live we would get by. We wouldn't be the ones buying all the mansions, and we always wanted to keep our money just for our nest egg when we retired. So we built our family home, and I was so excited about it. And in 3 years, it burned to the ground. All my husband's memorabilia, my kids being born on tape, my wedding pictures, from that happening. I remember, I've always been a designer at heart, like always. And I just remember thinking to myself, this time around, I just do not want to have the same thing that my neighbors have. Everybody is just cookie cutter. So I searched and I found one lady, and she is a manufacturer, and I threw a bunch of designs at her, and she was like, I can do it. And I was like, really, you can? And I was really depressed. But through the passion of just designing this home and this furniture, that really got me out of it. And so from there, I decided to do a jewelry line, because you can't really throw a couch on somebody's neck and say heels. I decided that I wanted to do healing stones and healing beads. We graduated to adding gold and silver and that type of thing.
You talked about always being a designer at heart. When did you take the first leap to open your first business brand store?
I was 26, and I remember I was modeling in LA, and being 26 is like, you are like ancient for modeling. So I was 24, like years in a row, and I think they were looking at me like, okay, and you said that last year. I did? Okay. But I remember thinking, I don't just, there's so much more to me than just modeling. Like, I just knew that there was. And I knew that, I wanted to do something that I could inspire, because when I was younger, being Mexican and being in San Diego, everybody would be like, what are you? The whole, what are you? And I'm like, oh, I'm Mexican. And they're like, no, you're not. You're Brazilian, you're Hawaiian. And they tried. And that little girl, I'd kick them in the knees, but they did. And I kept telling them, no, I'm Mexican. So I remember thinking, people don't really understand, like, there's different ethnicities and how we look so different across the board within one ethnicity too. So I remember thinking, what do I know? I know that I know models. And I was an ESPN girl, so I knew fitness and fashion. So I decided that I would put together a calendar that showed different ethnicities and mixed women. So that did really well. And that's my first one that started. And just by that's how I met my husband, because I was at a signing for the Super Bowl in Atlanta, and my calendars didn't show up. And I would have been in another room like that, with the door closed for like the media signings. But he was just there for dinner, and
sparks flew.
That's it.
What's the hardest thing you've had to overcome as a female entrepreneur?
Balance. I think it was balance. Yeah.
Balance of what?
Just being someone that is so into my family and my kids and making it a priority because, you know, everything else is a priority other than ourselves. And for me, it was really difficult for me because I knew that I wanted to work on my craft, but at the same time, a lot of the time I couldn't. So, and when I did, I felt so much guilt. You know, staying up late at night.
How do you counter that?
No, I do have a really good, I'm very spiritual and I have a good relationship with God.
I love that.
Yeah. And I have a really good relationship with my mom. So let's put it this way, when I felt guilty, the guilt would win. And I think that now, just with my kids leaving, that's been probably, to be honest with you, aside from my house burning, that's been probably the worst thing for me. And yeah, I'm not one of those like, oh, thank God they're gone. No, that's not me. This is amazing. But I started out, when my kids left, all of them were gone. Again, I was very, very sad. And my husband, you know, the guys, sometimes they don't skip a beat. He's like, I'm gonna go play golf. And I'm like, okay.
Waffle brain.
Me and my dogs.
Yeah, thinking about kids.
So I remember thinking, we all are queens, we're all princesses, we all have our crowns, but mine was severely tilting. Severely. And I didn't want to be that person that was just so like sad at the house. You know, now that the kids are gone, my husband's coming home and going, okay, you're sad again. You know, like I didn't want to be that person.
Guess what? I'm sad again today.
So I decided, you know, I'm going to do something for myself and I'm going to really straighten up this crown and get my ass going. I'm going to call my collection La Reina, which means queen. And from there, my business just exploded. I just started doing a lot of pop-ups at Nordstrom. It's wherever you put your energy into it, you know, that's where your focus goes there.
You know, I want to present Ms. Rebecca with an award, of course. And your award is the Perseverance Award. Because of clearly everything that you've been through, that you go through, you've done so much. We're so proud of you. And so you're being recognized for that. Yes.
Picture. House of Sacred Flame. Our next woman of achievement has spent her career conditioning the mind, body, and spirit and empowering millions of others to do so through one of her successful fitness centers, her social media platforms with collectively over 1 million followers, or by reading one of her books on improving your well-being in all aspects. Please welcome the host of Conversations in the Closet on Luxe Media. Hey peeps, Teresa. What's up? I've learned a lot about you. You're a fashionista.
Oh, yeah.
You have the world's largest closet.
Yes.
And it's 3,000 square feet?
Yes.
Okay. My brain is having a. Does anybody remember the Mariah Carey cribs?
Yes.
Do we all not have a moment with, like, we still, like, what? The shoe room? Do you have I'm sure you have a shoe room, shoe floor. Do you have 2 levels? No. It's amazing. Your show, Conversations in the Closet.
Yeah.
It happens in your closet. Tell us about it.
Yeah. Well,
what made you want to start it?
the podcast or the closet?
I think we know why you wanted the closet.
Well, I was always known for having pretty closets, and as someone that did a lot of charity work, every time I would hold a function at my home, the girls would go, "Can we go see the closet?" I'm like, okay. So the event would be happening, and we all would just be sitting in the closet drinking champagne and just looking at everything.
Yeah, why not?
So I said, you know, I need to create a closet so big I can have the events in the closet because that's where everyone wants to be.
That's amazing.
So it became the closet that continually gives back.
Instead of the kitchen at your house, we hang out in the closet. That's amazing. Now, you grew up on a farm in Nebraska.
Yes.
How'd you get to Texas?
Growing up on a farm in Nebraska, my parents were not well-to-do. It was a farmer's life. And I wore a lot of hand-me-downs. And so I knew as soon as I could start making money.
No more coat of many colors for you.
Now I'm wearing no hand-me-downs. So started working very early, started milking cows by the time I was 8. And then when they sold the farm, moved to the city, and I wanted to still do something, but I wanted to make money.
Yes.
You know, when you're doing chores, you don't get money.
That's just a chore.
You're earning your keep.
So I said, oh, I'm used to getting up early in the morning, I'll do a paper route. So I started delivering newspapers. And so when I started making money, I was like, wow, I can buy my own clothes. I don't have to wear hand-me-downs anymore. So that's where the fashionista thing started.
You were a U.S. title holder for bodybuilding?
Yes.
Okay, tell me about that. Because when I was reading that, I was like, what?
Well, so as a small child and living on a farm, you know that every time you're sick, you don't go to the doctor.
Okay.
It's too far away. And so I ended up with strep throat 4 different times, and the strep throat went into rheumatic fever. And rheumatic fever gave me a heart murmur. And so I remember being in the Children's Hospital in Omaha, Nebraska, and them saying, you're just never going to be normal. You're always going to be sick. You're never going to get to go outside. You're never going to have babies. You're just not going to. And for some reason, I was like, really? I don't think so. Don't tell me what to do. And so I started a fitness routine, I guess you would say it, that took me on this journey of just wanting to be normal. I just wanted to be able to do what everybody else did. And so against everyone else's wishes and will, I just stayed outside all the time. And I did whatever I could do. And so I had to be on penicillin until I was 18. But by the time I was 18, they basically said, well, your heart murmur is so faint, we can't really call you a heart patient anymore. But you're still never going to be able to have children. It's going to be too taxing on your heart. And I was like, no. And so I really delved into, some people get into fitness because they're told by their doctor,
you better do this and that.
Yeah. I was told I was never going to be normal. And so I was bound and determined to prove them wrong. And so I got into fitness. I just became a award-winning athlete. In high school, I lettered in every sport imaginable. I won a basketball.
Climbed Mount Kilimanjaro? What is going on?
I won a basketball scholarship to Black Hills State University. I just became this athlete. Like, you couldn't stop me. And yes, Kilimanjaro was,
okay.
Yeah.
You just climbed it.
Yeah.
For charity.
Well, so I was on the board of directors for Child Legacy International, where we drilled water wells in Malawi, Africa. And I was at a board meeting one time, and they said, so we're going to climb Mount Kilimanjaro for a fundraiser. And I said, good luck. And they said, no, you're very fit. You should do it with us. And I said, Kilimanjaro ain't my idea of having fun. Like, my idea of fun is 4 seasons and room service.
Hello. Yes, please.
And he said, well, I'm very disappointed. I just knew you'd be the first to sign up. Well, that was like them saying to me,
you can't do it.
Yeah. I said, watch this, sign me up.
Where does this tenacity, what empowers you? Where does that come from? You seem to have a pretty unstoppable spirit.
I do, and I think it started in the womb.
Okay.
Because my mother, her water broke when she was only 6 months along with me.
You're like, we got things to do. There are clothes to be worn.
And the doctor told her, you should just go ahead and abort the baby now. And she said, if there's any chance in hell this baby can be born, I just want to wait and see. And for the grace of God, I guess whatever it was, the pinhole or whatever sealed up, and I was born like 2 months early, but I was born. And so I think it started in there. And then being told as a child I would never be normal. And so I have faced so much adversity in my life, and it's always just like, watch me and see.
I love that. Let's talk about some of your businesses. I noticed on your website you have the Vault for your mighty for your mighty community.
Yes.
It's like an inclusive club that we can be a part of. Tell us about it.
Yeah. Well, as a personal trainer, you can only train people one-on-one most of the time. But the Vault is a community of like-minded people that want to get to that next level of success, whether it be in your personal life or your business life. And
I'm asking everyone, what do you think makes someone successful?
Perseverance, drive. And I see it now, especially in today's society. People just want to get there right now. They don't want to put in the hard work. They don't want to put in the effort. And I see so many people get out there and just do it for a little bit, and then they don't see the results they want, and then they give up. And I'm like, if I gave up every time I tried something, I would never be successful.
What motivates you? My closet.
I lost my brother at 23. I lost my son at 19. I've lost both my fathers. And I realized standing at my brother's funeral, and I thought the most important thing in life was being a mother, which it is. Believe me, it is. But listening to them talk about how many amazing things he had done in the 23 short years he was on this earth, I said, holy crap, and I was older than him by a couple years. And I thought to myself, okay, I'm a great mom, but what else have I done? And that's my journey right there. That was me. I was like, wow, if God could take him at 23. And then when God took my son at 19, I was like, whoa, and so I wake up every day and I say, God, thank you for allowing me to be here another day on this earth. I'm actually jealous of my brother and my son because they finished their work much, much sooner on this earth than I am. I'm still here kicking and trying to figure it out.
Dealing with all these people.
But just knowing that, this is not a dress rehearsal. This is our one and only time on this earth.
We're live, y'all. This is it.
This is our one and only time on this earth. And so I wake up every day and I say, make it happen. Do it.
Once again, so thank you for that. And I wanted to add to what you were saying. My favorite saying of all time is build the plane as you fly it, because that's a real entrepreneur. You just do it, you figure out while you're in the shit show.
Yeah.
So, but we wanted to present you with your award, and you are getting the Influencer Award, because if you follow Miss Teresa on social media, she has a ton of followers. You do so much. You're a philanthropist. You are so much more than just a closet. But you are getting the Influencer of the Year Award because you do such an amazing job in social media. Yes.
Okay, and we love our next honoree. She's a celebrity among celebrities and the matriarch of socialites globally. Please welcome the one and only OG influencer, Nikki Haskell.
Hi, everyone.
What's the greatest advice you've ever been given, and who gave it to you?
People are always giving me advice. Unfortunately, I never take any of it. It's sort of a bad habit that I have. I respect everyone's advice, but I find that most of it does not pertain to me. Everybody always tells you be cautious, don't do things you shouldn't do. I always just do anything.
I love it.
But I think I was among the first 5 female stockbrokers in the world. To think that I barely got out of Beverly Hills High School. I was a terrible student. My mother wanted me to be born married. So I grew up, just thinking I was going to get married and happily ever after. And then all of a sudden, the opportunity, success is when opportunity meets your desire. And you never know what you're capable of doing until you do it.
That's right.
I think that most people just sort of sit around and contemplate their life. I never do that. I get up and do whatever I want to do. I always try to do something that's creative, something that hasn't been done before, and do things that make people happy. And I think that the message that I try to give is just do it,
What was it like being one of the first stockbrokers in the world as a female, and how did you navigate that male industry?
It's very cool, because, when you're sort of like the first, they sort of treat you like you're like a mascot. Isn't it cute? He's a stockbroker and everything. And they didn't really take me very seriously. And then when I started doing millions of dollars worth of business, then I became like the enemy. Who are you sleeping with? How did you get that order? You know what I'm saying? So it always reverts back to that. But you know what? I laughed all the way to the bank.
Yes, good for you. You're internationally known as the Queen of Studio 54. We're all jealous.
And you should be.
I know.
And I have lots of girls that are here. My girlfriends have all been to Studio 54. My dear friend Suzanne Bass, put in hours there, as some of us did during that great time. It was an honor.
Yeah.
People used to say to me, where do you live? I said, well, I live at Studio 54, but I keep an apartment at 68.
I love that.
And I was there as many nights as I could humanly go there. And every once in a while, I dated a lot of very sophisticated stockbrokers and this and that. And they weren't interested in going to Studio 54. So after we go to dinner, they'd take me over. I would go around and I have the building that I live in has a revolving door. I'd go right back down the car and go right to Studio 54.
And you produced and hosted over 300 episodes of the Nikki Haskell Show, which was your talk show.
Right, that was a miracle unto itself, because everybody hated cable. I mean, it was really like a dirty word in those days. And I did it with Prince Egon von Furstenberg. It was supposed to be his show, and then he didn't want to do it, so they made it my show. And they wanted to shoot it in the studio, and I wanted to shoot it at Studio 54.
At your home. I want to work from home.
So that was home, yeah. So I just did it. I don't know how I did it. I mean, the shows now are on Freevee Amazon. We just re-edited 60 shows which are on the air. And I look at the shows, because of course I haven't seen them in 30 years, And I thought to myself, how did I ever do this? I knew nothing about it.
You were excellent at it.
I was.
What was the greatest thing that you learned from doing that experience?
Never give in, never give up, and never take no for an answer.
There you go.
To me, no is a soft yes.
I love that. No is a soft yes.
That's where you start. They always start you at no. No, they're not going to do that. No, you can't have that. No, you can't go there. So you just do it.
Yes. And what makes someone successful?
Accomplishing your dreams, living out the things you want to do, doing things that are out of the box. I think I'm the way that I am. As a child, I used to ride horses, and it made me strong. It made me fearless. It made me competitive. And it made me realize that you have to stay focused. You can't let anybody or anything get in your way. You have to live out your dreams. They're not somebody else's dreams. And that's why they tell you not to do it, because they don't care. That's not what they want. So don't ask them, just show them. Show them that you could be a better person, a better parent, a better child, and a better friend.
I love that. What do you believe has been the key to your own success? I mean, there's really nothing that you get involved in that doesn't do extremely well. That's just a
Well, that's not true. But you know what it is? I've really been lucky. Everything in life is timing. And I've been at the right place at the right time. When I grew up, you have to understand, swing music was coming in, movies were great. So when I grew up in Beverly Hills, it was like living in a fantasy. And it was inspiring. And the girls that I grew up with, I'm friendly with today.
What did your parents do?
My father died when I was 13. He actually was in the millinery business. He made Mickey hats.
Okay.
Then we moved to California. He was going in the construction business, and he died. So my mother brought up my brother and myself, and she did a great job.
I agree.
She was terrific, really fun and fabulous. But my mother taught us both to be very optimistic. Don't put yourself down. Don't put down what you did or what you said. I didn't live in a society where people bullied each other. I came in before bullying. I'm sure they did, but not to the degree that they do now. And to me, that is the hardest thing. I would think would be the hardest thing growing up, with people bullying you all the time. And then we live in a society that's so bully oriented. They don't really want to help you. They don't want you to succeed. So you just have to work around them.
Bullies are afraid of you.
Not my problem. Just get on with it. I'm a girl that believes in overdressing, as I see you do too.
Thank you, yes. This is casual. This is my business casual.
My mother used to tell me you have much more fun when you're overdressed.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
So I took that as a serious.
Same.
Yeah,
it's why I admire women so much that I've transitioned into one.
So far.
I'm having a great time because I'm a trans woman, I'm not a woman. And so I feel like having women like you and the women in this room and the women that I was raised by and everyone else that I look up to, it's just, again, making life what you want it to be.
That's right.
And it really wasn't, I just want to wear this stuff because it's fabulous.
Yes. Boring being a man.
Boy clothes, sorry man, the boy clothes are so, you guys look great, but boy clothes are so boring. And you know what you can do with $100 for women's clothes? $100 gets you a shirt and a pants as a man. But $100 as a woman, you can do a lot.
A lot. There's a lot of these available.
So we follow her on social media. Out of all, what's coming up in 2024 for Nikki? What else do you want to do?
I always want to do something different. But every day I come up with some new idea about doing something because I'm creative. I'm left-handed, and left-handed people just don't think the way regular people think. And I'm not really like your basic regular person anyway. And I'm not overly planned out. In fact, I never write anything down. So there's no paper trail. Just in case you're looking for one. But I mean, there's every time I wake up or I see something, I think, you know what's missing in society today, and I try to fulfill that. You know, like I invented my Star Cruncher. I had my whole line of products with Star.
I saw that, yeah.
So I invented the Star Cruncher on the dance floor of Studio 54. I thought, wouldn't it be great if I could come up with something that I wouldn't have to go to the gym and I could exercise. So I made this belt and you could dance with the Star Cruncher. I love it. And we wrote a song and did a dance and did everything. And
you also have
I had billboards all over Sunset. I created this fabulous product called Star Caps. All my products, and I was in the candy business. So it's been an adventure. To me, I mean, I never ever thought that I never really thought about anything. You know, when you're young, you just do what you do. But as life has gone on, and I realize how many opportunities are out there, and it's the only way it's going to happen is if I do it. You know, you can't rely on anyone for anything. You are your own best friend. So you have to keep it going. You have to stay focused. Because staying focused is where it's at. It's easy to get off the track. It's easy to say, oh, I'll get back to this later, and let me start this. The next thing you know, you started 10 things and you haven't finished one. And the trick is to, even if you fail at something, go back and make it happen. Because once you allow yourself to fail, you will always fail. So you have to always make sure that what you do, you go back and you make it happen.
There's a lot of reasons why I knew I was a little baby boy, and seeing people like you on television, and I knew them, so I can see why you are.
You know, you have to, people say to me, how tall are you? I'm 6'2", but I'm very small boned. I don't think of myself, I think of myself as being this tall, person that can take care of everything. So you have to we talk ourselves in and out of things. You can really get yourself down by telling yourself, oh, I didn't do this right, I should have done it this way. Just tell yourself, lie to yourself. Say, I'm great, everything is great, I'm happy. You have to convince yourself that this is it. Today is today, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't get back tomorrow, and you can't live in your past, and so you've got to live in the present. And even if it's shitty, get through it and work for it and do the things that you want to do. If you want to do something, don't let people tell you can't do it. I mean, I was riding on the floats in Carnival. I talked my way up to the top of the most exciting experience I ever had. So don't let yourself down, because you can talk yourself in or out of anything.
I love that. Thank you, Nikki. It is such an honor to meet you and to get to talk to you and to have time with you.
So Ms. Nikki,
yes,
this is the first award we've ever given like this, ever.
Thank you.
So you're receiving our Luxe Media Lifetime Achievement Award.
Thank you.
You're amazing, you're an inspiration. You've done amazing things. You continue to do amazing things. I'm so impressed. We are so impressed. And we're honored that you're here today. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, it's been a beautiful day. I've had a great time. I don't know about you. Today's all about championing female entrepreneurship, honoring females. Thank you to the guys that came to support. We really need you as well. So make sure you network with everybody, talk to everybody. Literally everyone in this room is amazing. We keep it small and mighty, and you never know who you're talking to and what value you can bring each other. Thank you everyone for taking the time out of your day to come here and be with us. And we're done. Go eat and network. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Catherine Dornbierer, and I'm here at the Luxe Women of Achievement Awards. Probably my favorite thing today was the copious amounts of speakers we had. It was just, the room was full of such positive energy and just motivating everyone here just to be really, just be the best person that they can be. And our last speaker, Nikki, she really just, everything she said was just really, really resonated with me. And so it was really, the speakers were probably my favorite part.
My favorite part of today's show was listening to all of these amazing women and their stories and how powerful their messages were, each individually, and then to walk away with all of that power from today.
I'm grateful. I'm very happy to have been able to be here today and to support all these powerful women, but also to feel empowered myself leaving here today, reminding myself that those doubts I have in my own head, kick them out the best to my ability. It's worth it.
There were so many parts of this event that I absolutely loved, but just being inspired by all these different women with different backgrounds, different ages, they just brought so much to contribute, and I'm blessed to have been around so many amazing women, and I'm taking away so many golden nuggets. I can't even start, but I absolutely loved it.
What I learned from this event was what Miss Nikki talked about: never give up. Believe in yourself. So 2024 is coming, so I want to focus on not giving up and believing in myself so I can do what my next journey is. And that next journey is to be continued.
Favorite thing tonight was to hear from all the difficult stories that all these women have gone through in their life and still been able to achieve and get through. When you're going through hell, you just keep going and never giving up. And for someone like me who owns a business and has a baby, and to balance all that was very inspiring.